I'm not going to turn off.
Uh,
There you go.
Okay, Huey, as
Adlock
we do
tester,
each month, it
copy
is 10 minutes of
URL,
3 here on the Eastern Coast, and we're going to take
loading.
a 10-minute break and start our meeting right on the hour. So you've got time to get up, use the facilities, get a cup of coffee, grab a beer, whatever libation that you wish. And for those that are fine sitting in their seat where they are now, it's a 10-minute Q&A, and either Huey or Drew or whoever is here will attempt to answer your questions before we start.
Yep. And the facilities here are directly behind me.
We don't want to follow you.
Okay. I'm not getting
And
up and going there. I
it's
don't
all
have
the
to
way up
go. Okay,
to
Marilyn, you have your hand up. Drew,
93%.
you're
What's
talking to
the
yourself
what's
and
the
we hear
top?
you.
I'm going to mute myself.
Before you
What's
do, Drew, what's the topic?
The topic for today is going to be two products. One of them is called Adlock, and the other one is called Adguard. And they're both designed as systemic level protection systems from ads, trackers, and the like for your operating system. So, ad blocking extensions have been eliminated for the most part by Google in the Chrome environment. They still exist in the Firefox world, but there are more than just ads that these programs get rid of in terms of trackers. In fact, one of the things that I'll show you that AdGuard can do is block the Microsoft advertising so that it takes away that Microsoft advertising ID that everybody was talking about earlier in the meeting can be blocked.
Okay, thank you, Drew. I look forward to that, and that's in 10 minutes. Hang in there, grab a sandwich, grab a cookie or a cup of coffee or some water, eliminate some, and come on back, and that'll be in 9 minutes, or yeah, about 9 minutes, maybe 10. And stick around. It's all included in the price.
Huey, I'd like to thank you because I watched your video several years ago about Evernote, and I've been using ever since. I don't have as many notes as you have, but I'm catching up.
It's easy when you can grab anything and put it in there. I
Yeah,
even,
I have a fight with Terry Harvey from the Milwaukee group. She uses color notes, and she's likes that one. But her and I are always battling it between the two. Yeah, I gave up OneNote many years ago and started using Evernotes.
I tried some of the other ones going back to 2008 and then shortly after just to see. And none of them did as well in the searches or in some of the other things that Evernote did. Yeah, it's gotten expensive. I can't remember what it
Uh,
costs now.
Yeah,
How much storage do you use up?
I have no idea.
Because
Uh,
2,000 notes would take up quite a lot of space, wouldn't it?
yeah, but I got 26,000 notes.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's pictures in them. There's
yeah.
some are PDFs. It'll save a whole PDF. Yeah, it's storing it on their devices. That's probably one reason they raised the prices.
Oh,
That's
so
one good.
it's in the cloud then? It's not on your local drive?
Yeah, it used to be you could have it on your local drive as well, but yeah, it got awful big.
You can
Well, one
access it
thing that
from
you
any
could,
device.
I have an Evernote account as well, and I use a tool to back up my Evernotes from the Evernote company. And I have a fraction of the notes that Huey has, but mine only accumulate to about 4 or 5 gigabytes when you download them into a file. So it all depends upon whether you're capturing website data or whether you're typing or whether you're actually embedding files into your notes. If you I have some notes where I've embedded executables and things that take up space, but in general, it doesn't take up as much space as you think it might.
A few minutes ago, I looked up the price and it was $130 a year.
Yeah. I'm migrating myself off of Evernote and I'm using a combination. I found that I was unable to satisfy my needs with just one product when moving from Evernote. So I'm using a combination of note-taking apps. My primary note app is called Joplin, and I also use a program called Obsidian.
Hmm.
And I find between the two of them, I have most of what I needed from Evernote.
So Drew,
Huey,
what do you get in Obsidian that you don't get in Joplin? Because I'm using Joplin also.
did you mention OneNote? I know Huey had mentioned that when he was talking about Evernote.
No, somebody else did.
But OneNote being a Microsoft product and coming with Office 365 or whatever, Windows 365, whatever they're calling it now, is that not something very much like Evernote?
Yes, it is.
It's a competitor to it, yeah.
I know they've upgraded it the last couple of years to try to compete with Evernote, but still, here again, I prefer Evernote over OneNote.
Di Bender, you have your hand up.
Oh, I just wanted to say I use OneNote, have for a long time, but I always have Microsoft products, but I love it. And it does everything I want it to do. So if you have Microsoft products, to me would be a no-brainer.
Thank you. Detlef, you have your hand up.
Yeah, I had a question for Drew. I also moved away from Evernote and I went to Joplin. Why are you using Obsidian? What is it that Obsidian gives you that Joplin doesn't?
Um, I work like a lot of people do on my mobile phone, and Joplin does not have on the mobile phone a web clipper. So I find that I go to the dog park in the afternoon with my dog and I read through the news and I like to capture current news articles that I might want to talk about with people in the future. And Evernote has a nice capture utility for the mobile phone. Joplin doesn't have one that works on the mobile devices. It only works on the desktop. So I needed to find a way to capture data. And Joplin, like I said, only works on the desktop. Obsidian has a web clipper that works on Android. I have an Android phone, and if you run the Firefox web browser on your phone, you can install a certain limited set of extensions, Firefox extensions. And one of those extensions that you're allowed to load is the Obsidian web clipper. And I find that if I am reading some news on the internet and I want to capture the whole article, I can do that with Obsidian. A second thing is being able to publish notes to the web. Oftentimes, I'll capture some information and want to share it in a Zoom chat or in with somebody else, and I don't want to post all of the original text. I just want to publish a link. So Obsidian has a plugin that's free that lets me publish notes to the web. Um, Evernote lets you publish notes to the web if you have a paid account. So Joplin, I just am in the process of migrating to using the Joplin cloud service. So once I'm finished migrating into that, I'll be able to publish from within Joplin, but again, only at the desktop, not on the mobile phone. So that's partly why I like Obsidian. Obsidian does a very good job of formatting documents in Markdown format. And it's just I find a combination of the two of them works better than just one alone.
Thanks.
Okay, we're ready to go, Huey.
Well, go.
Go, go. Okay. Let me share my screen. Famous.
Do an intro.
Yep. And pick that, and do that, I suppose, and share. So this is the Central Florida Computer Society Social Club main meeting. And we do this every month, immediately following the CFCS STUG WinSig. I am showing you on my screen our webpage, which is really just a landing page. It's not a full website. But if you ever have any questions about CFCS, how to get to our resources, recommend it to other people that want to sign up, etc. If they go to cfcs.org, it should contain the latest data. So as we state, we are a member of the Association of PC User Groups, and we are at this point a free informal social club, and we use various online resources to support our membership. So I'll look at the first one right up front. We use a Discord social media system, which we call a BBS because it looks very much like the old days of bulletin board systems. And if you do not have a Discord account, then you would go to discord.com, you would start an account, come back to this page, and you'll find an invitation link. And this is a link that will take you to our Discord. If for some reason it doesn't work, it's my fault. I haven't updated it because for security purposes, we update it once a week, and it usually expires sometime on the weekend. So I will get that message and I will come and you'll have the latest link here. Just come back a day later and you'll be able to get on it. I will show you what I'm talking about by popping the Discord up on top of my screen. And you can see, for starters, we have an event section that shows what events are we currently supporting. And we are, in fact, supporting the Social Club main meeting. Just a little while ago, it said the CFCS STUG WinSig. And you can get the event details if you, obviously you would know what those details are because you're in the meeting. But for those that don't, it's there each week. At the moment, I am highlighting our Windows channel. And you can see that we have different operating systems with their comments supported. And then we have a whole bunch of tech channels by subject, alphabetical. So I'm just showing you the Windows channel at the moment because we just came from the WinSig. And you can see there's an awful lot of posts that members have posted on the latest kind. Usually it'll be a YouTube video, but it might be a website that gets posted in these channels. And one of the things that we've done is we put a pinned message that's always available, and we have done a survey. So we've asked our members, please answer the survey. What are you going to do when Windows 10 expires next month? And haven't gotten too many answers, but this is going to go on for another week or two. And we're going to see what our members who are on Discord think about staying on Windows 10, switching to 11, getting another computer, etc. So it is, in fact, a full social interactive. You could say it was sort of like Facebook on steroids without the tracking. Okay, it's not a meta type function. And if you click on this head and shoulders, if you're on here, the current members will pop up in the right-hand column. It'll show you, for example, that I'm on as an admin, and I got a little green circle next to me, which says, hey, he's on right now. And if you wanted to, you could actually chat with me. And if I wanted to, I could take one of our other members and just leave a chat for them that they would see the next time they signed on. And then listed here below are 70 members that at one time or other have actually established an account with us on Discord. So we've been around for about 3 or 4 years now, just about post-pandemic, actually, just was when we started. And people come and go and get the latest kinds of things on stuff that seems to be interesting, especially, for example, artificial intelligence and books and manuals and all kinds of interesting stuff. We even have a classified ads section and a section that posts information on the latest sales. And then other people will post an off-topic conversations, with amusing little cartoons and things. So I'm going to go ahead and close that. And I'm going to close that. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Come on. There we go. Okay, so today I have asked our very capable presenter, Drew King, if he would talk about a subject that has interested him since our last meeting. And he's talked about it quite a bit on Discord. But for you all, he is going to talk about how to control advertising that may come to your computer by various means, or your phones for that matter. So Drew, over to you. You got it.
Okay. And let me click on share entire screen and share. All right. And then we're going to move him out of the way and get rid of the floating control. One moment. Hide floating meeting controls. All right. So the first product that I'm going to talk about is one that I found a couple of years ago that I've been a subscriber of. It's a company called Adlock.com. And both of the products that I'm talking about are commercial products. Neither one of them, they both offer free browser extensions. But as some of you may have noticed, browser extensions are becoming more and more difficult to block advertising and tracking cookies and things. Google has taken a hacksaw in Chrome to ad blocking and ad suppression technology. So I went and looked for other products, and I came across this one first. And it is it's available for Windows, for Mac, Android, iOS, and Android TV. It's not available for Linux. The other product that I'll be covering, Adguard, is available for Linux as a system-wide ad blocker. And I subscribe to Adlock for Windows, and you get 5 with Adlock. You get 5 licenses or 5 devices that you can install the software on. So let me hide these controls again because they came back. Adlock for Windows and Mac, Android. You get 5 total licenses. So you can choose. I have them on my phone, my tablet, on Windows. I don't have any Mac or iOS devices to install them on. What I probably should have done is prepared to share. I will share with you my cell phone as well. This is what the Adguard product looks like. Under ad blocking, if I can, it has an on-off button, and when it's turned on, I have an assert. You can have an allowed list. So if there are places that you don't want the ad blocking software to have any effect, you can simply click on this button and say that you would like to add an item, and then you can punch in the name of a domain, and it'll suppress the ad blocking technology. Under traffic, it shows me all of the different products on my computer where I have blocked some advertising, and you can turn them on and turn them off by app as well. So if I want to turn off filtering in Microsoft Edge, for example, I can just click here and it'll stop the filtering. And you can see all of these are basically browsers. And these are the symbols: disable filtering, enable filtering, or block access to the internet for that particular app. Under protection, I have one of the things that I have turned on is anti-tracking. It hides your online presence and browser activity and personal data from advertisers. So, for example, if anyone sends me a newsletter that was done with that Constant Contact, Constant Contact tries to track what you've opened and what you have not opened, and it tries to collect advertising data from you. There's also that email program that Huey uses, which is Huey, can you remind me of what that is? Is it MailChimp? I think it's called MailChimp.
Yes,
And
I believe that's it.
and MailChimp, when you get an email in your inbox, you don't get the URL looks like the URL to where you want to go to, but it's really not. It's actually a URL that's tracking whether or not you've opened the email or not. And Adlock prevents my computer from going to any of those websites. So if somebody sends me a MailChimp email with some URLs in it, Adlock actually blocks my computer from being able to access those URLs. So it tells I'm alerted ahead of time that I'm about to, that I just clicked on something that's going to track my whereabouts. And so it just pops up a box and I close it. Under notifications, this is just, telling me that my filters are up to date. Activation, leave feedback. It has a place where you can, if I'm getting advertising in a spot, I can send them a message. And in settings, I can change the appearance. Under add filters, I can turn on different filters. There are an annoyance filter that gets rid of annoying website elements, callback forms, notifications. It has a general filter that's based on a search list called Easy List, which uBlock Origin uses. It has the fullest list of counters and analytic filters, also based on Easy List, and it gets rid of social media widget filters, again based on Easy List. It has these other filters that I don't have enabled. Let's go back to here. I can look at my network settings and wipe the statistics, or look at my network statistics, and it shows me where I've gone and what it's blocked. And I don't see any advertising anymore, pretty much, on any of my websites that I visit. It does. Oh, Huey, you have a question?
I do. Am I on? Yeah, I am unmuted. How a lot of the websites have ad blocking indicators that if you're blocking ads, they won't give you the information. Does this circumvent that, or are you still going to have to turn it off for that particular website?
Very good question. Um, both of these products rely on blocking traffic at the network level. So it the advertising never gets to your browser. Your browser is not running an extension that's trying to block the advertising, so there's nothing for the website to see in your browser that, we've detected that you're using an ad blocker. You're not using an ad blocker, you're using a network filter. And I will see very few websites ever complain about the fact that I'm using an ad blocker because they can't detect. All they know is that the data is not being shown on your screen, and there's nothing for them to detect. So it eliminates the hassle that you get when you are using a browser-based ad blocking extension. Um, so the answer is basically you don't have to worry about it. It blocks everything before they even get to your browser. One of the things that's nice is it enables HTTPS filtering. So it looks at all of your encrypted traffic that comes through HTTPS and gets rid of commercial content. EV certificates, I'm not even sure what EV certificates are, but it filters them. And automatically updates filters based on traffic. And then this enable auto run, it auto runs when my system starts. And that's basically, it says here that I've got a 5-year license that's valid until 2028. This thing will even block web advertising. If I were to go to YouTube, for example, I could watch YouTube ads, YouTube videos without advertising. So that's sort of a side bonus that you get from that, is that you don't have to watch YouTube ads. I'm not a big YouTube fanatic, so it doesn't impact my life very much one way or the other.
If Drew, if they're feeding a YouTube ad, do you get a blank, or does it actually just skip it and just like you hit the skip button?
What I've done is I've tested this. I've gone to YouTube, and selected movies supported by ads, just so I know that I'm getting things that are supposed to have ads. And what will happen is if the ad blocker is turned off, it'll play the ad at the beginning of the movie before the movie starts. If I turn the ad blocker on, it just starts playing the movie. There's maybe a 2 or 3 second delay before the movie starts to play. But what I can do is if I go to youtube.com and
Just
I
don't
look
let it run
for,
for more than 30 seconds so we don't get a copyright violation.
yeah, I'm not going to actually play anything. But if you go for movies with ads, so this says here that it's the Book of Life and it's free with advertising. So I'm going to turn my ad blocker off. I'm going to make sure that, yeah, both of them are off. And I'll click on this movie and it should show me an ad. Nope, nope, it just went to play it. Maybe it'll show ads in the middle. I don't know why it didn't show me an ad, but it says free with ads.
I
I don't
I
have
wouldn't
any ad
I
block.
wouldn't show any of a movie anyway. So
Yeah, yeah. Um, but anyway, it will. Elva, you have a hand raised?
Yeah, I was curious what an EV certificate is, so I looked it up and it says it's an extended validation certificate, a high assurance digital certificate that provides the highest level of trust for websites and organizations by requiring a rigorous identity verification process from a certificate authority. This stricter vetting, which involves checking the business's legal existence, physical address, and operational status, aims to protect against phishing and fraud by verifying the site operator's identity and building user
Okay.
trust. Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah. And
that's a
so,
good thing that's included with this product,
so
with your
yeah,
product.
it protects you against phishing attacks. So it's not just for advertising.
Yeah.
There are like for example, I have various ad block testing sites that I've done tests with, and you can go through some of these. I'll post some of these in the chat so that you can go to them yourselves. Here's a perfect example of if I've got my ad blocking turned off. So if I hit retest, it should go back down to 0 and give me a number that is less than 90%. This tests a whole bunch of different things. And this is running in the Opera web browser right now with Opera's advertising turned off, advertising blocking feature turned off. And you can see that I have scored 30% on their testing. So I've blocked 40 items and 94 items are not blocked. And it has shown everything here where it's failed. Like Google ads, like if you go to google.com, and they show advertising at the top of the page, this will still show on the top of the page. Steve, you have a question?
Yeah, what is the URL for it? Because I tried putting in adblock.com and it sent me to some other redirect.
It's not adblock.com, it's adlock.com.
Ah, okay. That explains it. Thanks.
ADLOCK. So if I turn my ad blocker on, now my system is fully protected. So if I rerun this test, you'll see that my score is going to change from, it's going to go from 30% up to about 90%. And it went up to 86%, and now it's blocking the Google ads and Amazon ads and doubleclick.net. And these are all the different things that it has either failed or passed. And you can see that ads.youtube.com is in green, which means that it's effectively suppressing anything that comes from this domain. Unfortunately, it does not do well with TikTok. It got rid of some of them, but not all of them.
I'm trying to read the URL. It says adblock.turtlecute.org.
That's the name of this website that I'm running the test on.
Mm-hmm.
Let me, yeah, it's called adblock.turtlecute.org.
Yeah,
This used to be hosted.
Shouldn't it be Adlock then?
Excuse me?
Shouldn't it have been Adlock?
No, it's two different things.
No, this particular testing site that I'm on, right, that you're looking at right now.
Okay, so it's not associated with the Adlock site then. Okay.
No, this is an independent site. This is a site that used to be hosted on GitHub, and for whatever reason they left GitHub. They got either shut down or they left, and it's now adblock.turtlecute.org is this particular site that I use to verify whether or not I'm blocking advertising or not. If I turn this off and I go to the Adguard product and I turn on the protection, you'll see that it gets a lesser score. I don't know why the score is lesser than it is with Adblock, the ad blocking software that I use, but you'll see that it comes in at 78%. So it's 79%. So it's pretty close. Stephen?
Yeah, I've stayed away from the whole ad block thing because frankly, the advertisement for ad block is one of the most annoying ones that pops up, it seems like, all over the place. And if memory serves me correctly, it used to be associated with its own virus. So yeah, I just never clicked on that. So maybe there's some good ones here, but frankly, it's an annoying ad itself, and I'm concerned that it just shows up with a virus.
What shows up with the virus?
The ad for ad block.
Which
I mean,
ad block are you referring to?
people are annoyed with it. It just seems like it. I've seen it so often, and it shows up, and it just, I don't know. I've just gotten a sort of a bad taste in my mouth for that coming up because it seems to me, and this has been some time ago, when I clicked on it and it turned out to be a virus. It wanted to, take me someplace else. So I just stayed away from it.
Stephen's talking about an application or an extension called Adblock,
That's right.
but we're talking about Adlock and Adguard, which are not Adblock. So that's the key. And this particular test program is an independent testing program. The URL happens to start with the word Adblock, but it doesn't mean that it's using the Adblock technology. This is testing whether ads are getting through, and they've just set it up on their separate website called adblock.turtlecute.org.
Yeah,
So it's
yeah.
independent.
Thanks for that clarification, Mike. I think you're exactly right. That's probably where I'm coming
And
from.
anybody, I put the link to this in the chat. Anybody, whether you've got an Adblock product or not, Adlock, whatever you've got, can just independently test their browser by going to that address and seeing this display and getting a feel for how much of what my system is processing is vulnerable to advertising.
Right. And
Gotcha.
thank you for clarifying that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, this is not associated with an ad block technology. This is here is another test site that for some reason my computer doesn't score very well on their testing. I get 43 points out of 100 on this particular site. I don't know why I don't score higher. My computer is letting this GIF image through, for example, so I failed this test. So none of the ad blocking technology that I'm using is perfect. This is just merely a sample of what you can see as available for blocking. Here is another ad blocking test site that I found. If I run a simple test, you'll see that there are no banner ads around this little block here. If I turn the protection off and rerun this test, it should show advertising. I have to wait. So now it's showing the word advertisement in around here. I don't know why it should have shown me the ads. I was expecting to see advertising over here, banner ads around this box, but instead it's showing me the word advertisement. Not all of these tests I would consider to be perfect. This particular product here, this website here, I would suggest this is off onto another topic, so I'm going to cover this product instead for right now. If I'm going to turn off the protection and go into settings, and this is the Adguard product as opposed to the Adlock product. When I go into ad blocking, it'll automatically activate language-specific filters. Here is the section where I can either enable or disable Windows OS level ads. This setting blocks all Microsoft's ads in your Windows operating system, such as the start menu suggestions, recommended and sponsored apps and tips. It also has additional filters that you can add, and I have enabled the base filter, tracking protection filter. This is the most comprehensive list of online counters and web analytic tools. Use this filter if you don't want your actions on the internet to be tracked. This is a Adguard URL tracking filter. It removes trackers from the URLs that you click on. It has an annoyance filter for blocking cookie notices, for example. A lot of times websites will get aggressive with their use of cookies, and they force you to click on a box that says accept all of our cookies. This will suppress all of that. And then you can suppress other annoyances. Steve?
Yeah, will it remove redirects as well?
Redirects mean like in what respect?
Well, like say Ask Leo. When you go to askleo.com, it goes to a bunch of other ones before it finally gets to the YouTube video that he's got. Is there any way that it can remove all that redirect stuff to get to where the final destination is?
I'll tell you what, I will go to Ask Leo later on, and I'll let you know during Tech for Senior tomorrow whether it did or didn't.
All right.
It has a fanboy annoyances blocker. It gets rid of social blocking, easy list, cookie list, and online malicious URL blocking, so that if any known malware and spyware websites that are known to Adguard will be blocked with this online malicious URL block list. So if I were clicking on web pages and a web page tried to send me someplace, it's almost as though if you were using a blocker like Microsoft's Bitdefender to block you from getting a virus. This will protect you from going to websites that they know are malicious. It has a phishing URL block list. So it uses uBlock Origin and Adguard, Vivaldi, host files. It takes care of DNS masking, bind, unbound, snort, and Circata. I don't know what that is, but it does whatever it can to protect you from phishing URLs. It also has the ability to protect you from scams and untrustworthy websites. So it does a lot more than just blocking advertising. Underneath, and that's just in this ad blocking section. Under the tracking section, it improves your privacy by browsing speeds by blocking trackers and web analytics. using their Adguard tracking protection filter. It removes tracking parameters from URLs. Elva?
Yeah, I just was looking up the price for Adguard, and it's $12 a month or $48 a year. But there was a question here: is Adguard a Russian company? It says no,
Ad-
Adguard is not currently a Russian company. It was founded in Moscow in 2009, but moved its headquarters to Cyprus in 2014, operating under EU law and GDPR regs. However, concerns persist because a majority of its development and employees have historically worked with Russia, with the Cyprus office sometimes described as a shell. So anyway.
Yeah, I don't know anything about that. Like I said, I'm going through a trial. I don't own or use Adguard. I'm going through a free 14-day trial that happened to coincide with today's meeting. And I figured I would show off what it can do while my 14-day trial is active.
Yeah, it's really interesting information. I don't know anything about ad blocking, so I really thank you for your information today.
So it will delete third-party cookies, and you can specify how long they have to live on your computer before it gets rid of them. You can block WebRTC if you want to. I don't have it turned on right now. Mike, you have a question?
Just comment, you had said that Adguard's not available for Linux, but I just went to their website and did find out that the Adguard is available as an extension. And if you're running Linux and want to put it into your browser, it's supposed to work.
Adguard or Adlock?
What we're in right now, Adguard.
Adguard. Adguard has a full-blown Linux product.
Oh, I thought you had said that Adguard didn't when you started this.
Adlock does not.
Okay, misunderstood, sorry.
Adlock, the one with ADLOCK, this one here, does not support Linux. Adguard has a product for Linux right here.
Okay.
Adguard for Linux. And I have this running on Linux in a virtual machine, and it works quite well. It works very well.
Okay.
So if you are a Linux user, this is the only product that I know of that is a system-wide suppressor for Linux. And then it has the instructions on how to do it. Adguard, if you buy it, comes out to about $2.49 a month billed annually if you buy it for a year in advance. And Adlock, I believe, comes out to about $1 a month. Yeah, $1.05 for a 5-year subscription. And it covers, what's nice about this product is it covers 5 devices, whereas Adguard only covers 3. So if you have a need to cover 5 devices versus 3, and you're not a Linux user, you might want to go take a closer look at Adlock. This is the one that I've been using for years, and I can attest to the fact that it works quite well. And I have it running on my phone as well.
It says VAT tax may apply. Is it a European country again, the developer?
A European company.
On the slide just before this one, it said VAT may apply, value-added tax, which is charged in Europe.
Value-added tax. Oh, VAT, yeah, may apply. Value-added tax may apply. I don't know what a value-added tax is.
It's just like sales tax,
Mm-hmm.
but it's in Europe. Yeah.
Yeah. when I bought this for myself, I bought it 5 years and it was only 70 cents a month. I think I paid $40 for a year for 5 years. Detlef?
Um,
This is
in
63 and a
response to
half.
what Elva just said,
What's
in
the
response to
difference?
what Elva just said, the VAT is collected if you buy the product and you are in Germany or France or whatever. It doesn't mean that they are in one of the European countries.
Correct.
Oh,
So the
okay.
buyer, the
Yeah.
buyer pays
It's
the
like a
VAT,
sales
right?
tax.
In other words, you're in the US, you wouldn't pay a VAT. I'm in Germany, I would pay a VAT, but it has nothing to do with where they are located.
Oh, it has to do with where the purchaser is.
Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. Um, so now under browsing security for Adguard, you can choose to get notified about block requests and malicious and phishing websites, and it will notify me with a sound if I go to a malicious website, if I attempt to visit a malicious website. It has DNS protection built in, so it protects you from advertising and trackers and threats at the DNS level. This particular product, for those of you who may have children or grandchildren that you want to protect, you can actually turn on parental controls and manage what websites you're allowed to go to and not go to. So you could actually block your children from going to certain websites that you don't want them to use. And you can even put a password in, and you can have users in here. There is a browser assistant that comes with Adguard.
In today's
And
digital world, online advertisements have become increasingly intrusive.
somebody's playing a video. The browser assistant is kind of neat. I'm going to show you the browser assistant real quick. What the browser assistant can do is, where is the browser assistant?
Adguard for Chrome.
Whoops.
Adguard for Chrome. If you've installed
Browser assistant. If I right click, here we go, Adguard browser assistant. I can disable filtering on this site, or I can change certain settings. I'm going to go to a website called rclone.org, and I'm going to show you exactly what it's good for. Once this website
I
comes
think
up.
you spelled it wrong.
Yes, I did. RCLO. There we go. rclone.org this is a legitimate website, but they have advertising that they do on their page for all of these elements are persistent elements that they put on their website. And I use this product and this website quite a bit. And if I wanted to not have to look at these elements, I can right click on them and then choose Adguard Browser Assistant and say block ads on this website. And then I can highlight these elements and decide if I want to turn off that ad. And I hit block and it goes away. And so that's a feature that you don't get with Adlock software, but you get it with Adguard software. It's a browser plugin that allows you to suppress a specific ad by just clicking on it and getting rid of it. So if there are certain websites that you go to on a regular basis that have advertising on them that the ad blocker by itself doesn't find or detect or get rid of, you can actually specify individual elements and say that you want to block them. And I can get rid of each one of these individually, and then they won't appear on my web page anymore. There are extensions. Both of them come with a web extension that you can load from the web stores, but they're not as good. The Adguard Assistant is really a nice plugin to have. And then at the network level, enabling traffic filtering, and I'm using a WFP network driver that provides filtering in the Windows 8 and later. This is how the ad blocking actually happens. And if I bring up phone link, and I show you real quickly, you'll finish before I finish, show you the ad blocker as it exists on a phone. Adguard. Where is Adguard? Here it is. This is come on. Protection is disabled. All right. So this is, if you're looking at, right now you're looking at the Adguard Android product. And you can block unwanted ads, banners, videos, pop-ups. It has tracking protection, annoyance blocking, DNS protection, and it even has a firewall. And you can choose what software you want to block or not block. It filters every application on your phone. So, Steve?
Yeah, can you run it at the same time as the browser guard from Malwarebytes?
Yes, you can.
Okay.
Yes, I use the Malwarebytes browser guard. So these are all the applications that are on my cell phone. And you can decide if you want to have I have Android Auto on my phone, and I have not routed ads. I'm not using AdGuard to route traffic through the Android Auto, for example. So you have the option to turn it off. These are statistics of how many ads and trackers and things that it's blocked. And again, you can go into settings and adjust the filtering. You can configure different sets of filters, ad filters, annoyance filters, and this is how it runs on a cell phone. It protects all of your browsers on your phone, no matter what browser you're using. So if I'm just using Google Chrome, I don't have to load anything in Chrome on the phone. It's just going to automatically stop the advertising. So there's Windows and Android. Does anybody have any questions that I haven't answered yet?
From what I saw looking at both websites while you were presenting, it looks like if you wanted to sort of dip your toe in this without actually installing an app, there is coverage for the browser. Each of them has one way, shape, or form or other, the way to use it in a browser usually has an extension.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, both Adlock and Adguard offer browser extensions. And on Google Chrome, the Adlock browser extension will block some advertising by itself. So you do have an option to use it for free, but it's just not going to be as comprehensive as the one that you would run from Windows.
Yeah, it would make sense to have this fully integrated with your system.
This is just my Google page. So that basically covers everything I intended to cover. Timothy, you have a question?
Offhand, this may be slightly off, and it's more for a do-it-yourselfer type person. But have you ever explored Raspberry Pi with Pi-hole as a network level filter within your own living space?
Yes, I have. I've installed Pi-hole. I didn't like that I had to redirect all my other devices through the Pi-hole, and changed my DNS settings. And when I'm away from home with my phone, I'm not protected at all. So Pi-hole only protects you while you're at home, and it only protects at the DNS level. I've done some comparisons between this product and I recently read an article. I don't have it in front of me right now, but an article on the internet that from a gentleman who was using Pi-hole and just recently switched to Adguard instead of Pi-hole as a way of being more thorough. Pi-hole is a domain DNS level ad blocker. So if the website that you're going to is not using DNS to suppress the ads, then you're not going to suppress the ads. It's not going to do anything. And it doesn't cover you for all of the other things like tracking and phishing, and it only does what you can do with DNS.
If you want to close your screen down, we'll bring back the chat group and take any additional questions. Okay, I've got the gallery up.
And looks like we've covered everything.
There are other subjects that are related. You referred to it when you brought up the Electronic Frontier Foundation's Cover Your Track screen, and I did put a link to that in the chat. But that and their associated privacy badger browser extension is yet again another presentation, and essentially related to what we talked about today, the fact that your browser reveals a lot of information about you called fingerprint.
Oh, you're right. I totally forgot to talk about fingerprinting.
But that's where we are right now. I would say that's presentation for next week.
Overload already, yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, fingerprinting is your fingerprint on the internet is quite large. If you've never looked at it before. Did you put that Cover Your Tracks in the chat?
Let's see what we got here. Cover Your Tracks is yes, it's in the chat. So
right. So if anyone goes
for next month,
if anyone goes to Cover Your Tracks, that is a website that talks about fingerprinting. And what I've discovered is that the only browser I've tested Opera, I've tested DuckDuckGo, I've tested Chrome, I've tested Brave, I've tested Edge, Firefox, and there's only one browser out of all of those that correctly randomizes and blocks your fingerprint, and that was Brave.
Subject of next month's presentation. But individual research, absolutely. It's worth reading up on this and saving your questions, and we'll do that as a lead-in for next month. Anything else before we go? Okay, we thank you very much for joining the Central Florida Computer Society as an adjunct to the CFCS STUG WinSig. I think both were very well done today. And Huey, you want to wrap it up with any promotions for what's coming up next week?
I don't think we've got Monday, we've got the Tech for Senior, Thursday, Tech for Senior Live, and that's pretty much it. The following week is the Let's Talk AI. It's always the fourth Friday of the month. So thanks for joining today.
Do you
I
have the
certainly
date
enjoyed
for this next meeting?
For October, it's the
It's
third or
sec-
second Sunday.
the
second Sunday
third-
of the month. It's the
Second
second Sunday
Sunday?
of the month. Yep.
Okay, thanks.
Yep. Okay,
Which would be, that'll be the 12th.
I'm going to stop
Okay.
recording and then let Huey close the meeting out.